Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very interesting video, and I'll tell you why. We have some updates, we have some leaks, we have some news, but I also have a very interesting theory that we're going to be getting some really cool games on the Switch 2 very soon, and these are first party games. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. So today isn't a day where there's like a million updates, right? And you have to remember I'm 7 hours ahead of America time since I'm overseas currently. So sometimes I'll make a video and the news will come out in like a couple hours, whatever. But I think I've done a pretty good job of putting a video together today. And I mean, it's all like just really cool stuff. So you're in the right spot. So before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would truly mean the world to me. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter so we can keep our amazing communities growing. And let's just go ahead and get right into this video. So the first thing I would like to talk about is an update. And this update is coming from an upcoming Switch 2 game. Now, that Switch 2 game, by all means, seems very exciting. Seems like it's going to be amazing quality. I've already beat it, but it's just so tempting I might buy it again. That is Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. Coming to the Switch 2, I think in 2026, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, or maybe it's coming this year. I'll be honest, I don't really know when it's coming out. Now, the only real controversy is the game keycard, and that's what we're talking about. It's not so much that this game is a game keycard, but I've seen multiple updates come from this game from the producers, developers, and now the director is saying Nintendo Switch 2 devs can't avoid game keycards as everything goes digital. You know, I want to push back, right? You guys know I love physical media. That is a route that I will always take. So much that I have not played Pokemon Legends EA yet because I can't find it in the country I'm in, and I don't want to buy it digitally. I'll just wait till I get a physical copy when I go back home. Yes, things are going more towards a digital storefront. It is what it is. But I think seeing news like this almost will like encourage other developers and publishers or whatever to just say, F it. We'll do game key cards as well because maybe people don't care. Maybe we lose a couple sales, but who really cares in the long run? I know this whole topic is split 50-50. Maybe even more people prefer digital. I don't know. But every time I see an article like this, man, it just leaves me kind of bummed out. So yeah, I just thought I would talk about this quickly. Now, before we get into more updates, rumors, leaks, theories, whatever, somebody posted something on the Switch 2 subreddit, and I just want to highlight it because I think it's actually just a pretty positive post overall. And they're just telling you that look at all these games that currently have demos on the Switch 2. I think it's 9 games total currently. These are like some major games right here. So if you have a Switch 2 and you don't have money to buy games yet, or you don't know what to buy, these are 9 major games that currently have demos. Just playing these demos could probably last you like 40 hours or something. So yeah, I just think it's great that these games have demos. I hope more games in the future get demos or receive demos. I just think it's something that a lot of people kind of skip over sometimes. So I just wanted to highlight that. So shout out to that person who posted that. Now we have a leak for 2 games. And this leak is coming from Amazon. I'll be honest, I know about one of these games. I don't know much about it. I can't pretend like I've played it a million hours like a lot of you guys probably have. But the other game, I don't think I know anything about. But both of these games are getting leaked, maybe even for pre-order already, over on Amazon. And both of them, I mean, they seem pretty cool. And as far as I know, I mean, I'm looking at box arts right here. It doesn't say game key cards. I think they're both from the same publisher or developer. I'm not really sure. Maybe they're not game key cards. But we have The Binding of Isaac, Repentance, and Order Up. Both of these games are coming over to the Switch 2. These are both from Nicalis, I think. Both of these have not been officially announced yet, but this will probably, change soon. And both of these games have product pages on Amazon. 100% you can tell these box arts aren't like mock-ups or anything. These look like legit Switch 2 covers. Yes, we see covers come out and then, a week or two later it says game key card. Sometimes with indie games, I feel like that's going to be the underlying physical media, because it seems like the big publishers or big developers are going to go game key cards, and since you see all the big ones doing it, the other big ones are going to be like, well, we're going to do it too. And I know for some games like Star Wars Outlaws, it's warranted, but indie games, I just feel like they're going to be on cartridge, so shout out to them. The Binding of Isaac, I know a ton of people played this back on maybe the 360. I know it's been out for quite a while. Order Up, I know nothing about, but the box art looks pretty cool. And then I was reading the comments and a lot of people were very excited for this. So when will these get announced? Probably, very soon. I could see these being announced and then hopefully be games that we'll buy for the holidays. Now I want to get into a theory I currently have, and it's not just me. Metroid Prime 4 is coming out. When the hell is this game coming out? Is it coming out in November? Either November or December. I don't know, but it's coming out very soon. This is crazy. Even saying that, it's been ages. That sounds like you're being facetious. Oh, he's being funny. I'm not. It's truly been ages since this game has been in development. So much that it's been developed twice. There's a rumor it's going to be $100 million when it's all said and done. It's going to be very hard for Nintendo to even break even. This game has to sell 6 million copies, I think, just to break even. Maybe it's into Metroid Prime. So how do you make sure it's a success, right? I'm just assuming the attach rate for the Switch 2 to Metroid Prime 4 is going to be very high. We have the hype of the console, the hype of the game. Metroid Prime Remastered was amazing, but I don't think it did incredibly well. Maybe 1.5 million copies, because I think Metroid Dread is the best-selling Metroid game of all time. But you need to get the hype up. Now, people are saying, well, we haven't seen a lot. We've seen a couple trailers. Of course, we're going to get a Metroid Prime 4 Direct. That's a no-brainer. But how else do you get more eyes on this game? Well, October 28th, which is the day I'm recording this video, Metroid Prime 1 through 3, a visual retrospective art book is coming out. I don't know if you had to pre-order this now, but I know it's coming out today, so I don't know if you can go on Nintendo.com and buy it, or I'm on the website actually looking at it and it says pre-order now, but I guess it releases today as well, so maybe this website hasn't updated yet. But regardless, you could buy this month is what I'm trying to say. Now, that is cool. Metroid Prime 1 through 3, fantastic games. We got Metroid Prime Remastered. Is this all we're going to get? We're going to get this book, then we're going to get a direct, and then they're going to release the game? Is that really enough hype? You know what I mean? Yes, the game isn't going to be a failure, but I feel like we need more. Well, I've said it once and I'll say it again. I think we're going to get something else. Metroid Prime 2, I think, was on the GameCube as well. And then Metroid Prime 3 was on the Wii, if I'm not mistaken. Metroid Prime 2, throw that on Nintendo Online, call it a day. I mean, why not, right? But what about Metroid Prime 3? Well, honestly, I don't even have news for Metroid Prime 2, but look what I do have. I have this trademark that is currently pending for Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. And as you can see, the application filing date was June 6, 2025. Was that not the day the Switch 2 came out? June 5th, June 6th, somewhere around there? Kind of strange timing, okay? And this is currently pending. One of two things are going to happen. One of three things are going to happen. One, we get a collection, just the same way they did Pikmin 1 and 2. We get Metroid Prime 2 and 3. Put it in a collection like Galaxy 1 and 2 as well. Maybe it's upscaled, better frame rates, some kind of mouse support, something, whatever. But it's not a full-on remaster. $70, 2 games, it is what it is. Or they put 2 on GameCube, and then I don't know what they would do with 3. Or we have another option. There's also a trademark pending for Metroid Prime Hunters, and again, the application filing date was June 6. So this is almost like the black sheep, as far as I know, of the Metroid Prime franchise. If I'm correct, this was the DS game, and I actually tried to play this on the DS, but it was maybe last year, so just using the stylus and stuff, yes, it was playable, but after 30 minutes, I was like, yeah, I think I'm good on that. But I think this came out in 2006 or 2007, so playing it back then was probably amazing, especially if you're a big Metroid fan. So here's what I'm thinking. Maybe a full-on remake of this game drops. Maybe not right away, but maybe they show it off. I don't know. Nintendo's doing weird and wacky stuff. They had Pokemon Legends EA be shown off, and then showed off DLC before the game even came out. I think I was reading somewhere that somebody had a theory that 2 and 3 are going to come in a collection. Then we get Metroid Prime 4, and then Metroid Prime Hunters gets a remake the same way Ghost Trick and another Code Recollection did. And then Nintendo can say, look, the entire Metroid Prime, or Better yet, every Metroid game of all time is now playable on the Switch too. And that actually sounds like a big possibility, you know what I mean? Let's get all these games out, let's push them, because you have to think, Metroid Prime 4 is coming out next month or December, whatever. Even though it's coming out then, if Nintendo is to release a 2 and 3 collection, let's say the beginning of the year and like a direct, and then Metroid Prime Hunters remake later on in the year, even though those games would come out after Metroid Prime 4, the sales would still trickle down to Metroid Prime 4. Maybe somebody doesn't buy Metroid Prime 4, but then they see all these games coming out, and then they get Metroid Prime Remastered, play the collection, play Hunters, and they're like, damn, these are really good. Alright, I guess I'll buy Metroid Prime 4, you know, $70, but I played all these other games, they're pretty good. Let me go back and play this. So I think Nintendo's one of the few companies that damn near all of their titles are evergreen. So just because something isn't massively successful in the first 6 months doesn't mean it won't eventually become a success. And if they release all these games eventually within 12 months of Metroid Prime 4 or something, I think it will still help the sales. So this is just a wide, crazy theory. I was trying to connect the dots, but I was all over the place. But lucky for me, you guys are a lot smarter and can probably connect the dots even better. But I do think there's a lot more Metroid news on the horizon. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? Because your opinion truly matters more than mine, especially when I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So in the comments below, I would love to hear from you guys. If you made it all the way to this part of the video, if you could do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. It helps out tremendously. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter so we can keep our communities growing. We are growing on both platforms. That's amazing. And you guys know me. I will see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.